Namaste, all you lovely office bunnies. Today I've got a flow which is going to be really nice and quick, but also just getting all the juices flowing. So we're going to be doing quite a few sun salutations, and I'm going to do the beginner versions of those sun salutations. So for those of you that know yoga already, feel free to take the extra one or to take the harder versions of each pose. Just listen to your body and do what feels right. It's going to be nice and quick because I know sometimes you don't really have the time and you just want to quickly get the juices flowing, get the blood flowing, get a little bit of stretch in, but also get a little bit of, well, it's not really cardio, but get some movement in, so I totally hear ya. For those of you that want a longer version of a video like this, I've actually got a more relaxing one, but it's much longer. It's much more about flexibility, about getting deep into the shoulders and into the hips, which of course is great for those of us that sit at computers all day. So I'll leave a little link to that and you can head over to that at the end, or you can head over to that now if that's a little bit more what you're feeling today. So I think let's just get right into this one today. I'm going to start on our hands and knees in our tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. On the inhale, drop the belly, open up through the shoulder blades and look up. Exhale, arch the spine, push the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch the spine, push the shoulder blades apart. Take two more in your own time. Now tuck the toes. Let's walk the hands forward and we're going to send our hips up and back into our downward facing dog. So up and back, and don't worry if your heels are not touching the ground. That's absolutely fine. Maybe that will come with time and with practice. If they're up here, don't worry. It will happen, and if you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. The most important thing is to have a nice long spine, allow the neck to hang heavy. Open up through the shoulder blades and send your tailbone up towards the sky. So in our first downward facing dog, let's find a moment of stillness, closing our eyes and taking 3 deep inhales and exhales all out of the nostrils. Suck in that lower abdomen. On your next inhale, let's slowly walk to the front of our mat, as slowly as you can, just stretching out those hamstrings until you come up to the front. Now remember, you don't have to feel ashamed if you have to bend the knees. Hold on to each elbow and just allow gravity to do its work, pulling the spine nice and long after all those hours of sitting at a desk. This can feel amazing. Maybe start to straighten one leg, keeping the other bent, and then repeating this on the other side, and just keep doing this if it's feeling good for the body. Find what feels good for you and don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm here to guide you, but take your own path. Now allow everything to hang heavy, just for one more inhale. Exhale, release out of the mouth. Now inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to standing. Hands touch above the head, look at the palms, and exhale them into your heart center. We're going to begin, guys, so give the body a little shake out before we start getting everything moving and all the juices going. Now inhale, hands to the sky, palms touch, look up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, trying to keep the back nice and straight. When you need to bend the legs, bend them. Exhale down. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Plant the hands and let's step back to plank. You can jump back into your chaturanga whenever you want to. Hold your plank for one inhale. Exhale all the way to the belly. And inhale up for a baby cobra, using the back muscles to pull you into the back bend. Opening up through the shoulder blades. Untuck the toes, plant the hands and send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Right, that's one sun salutation. Remember to take a much harder version if you would like to take the more intermediate version. Jumping back to chaturanga and coming up into your upward facing dog rather than a baby cobra, but I'm going to stick with the beginner version today. Now inhale your right leg to the sky, only as high as you can lift it. Exhale to your heart center, hold it for a second and step forward. Now let's bring that back leg to meet the front. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift and look up. Exhale, fold. Oh, those lovely hamstrings. And inhale all the way to standing. Touch the palms above the head. Exhale into mountain, standing nice and tall, sucking everything in. We're going to be doing 2 more of those. Inhale, hands to the sky. Look up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, bending at the hips, and I'm falling into my tree. Come all the way forward, bend the legs if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back with the opposite foot, and come into your plank. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale all the way to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra, using the strength of the spine to pull you up. Exhale down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Sorry, downward facing dog. Walk your dog just for a moment. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, release. Now inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend that leg, bring it to your heart center, leaning forward and step between the palms. Now bring that back leg to reach the front. Back for your forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands touch above the head. Exhale, heart center, and then down to the sides. Give the body a little shake out. And let's do that again, guys. We're going to take a slightly harder version. We're going to take a little bit more of a back bend. And those of you that want to try with me, want to try and jump into chaturanga, then do that. Otherwise, just step back into your plank. Inhale, hand to the sky. Look up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Now step into your plank if you want to. Feel free to do that. I'm going to join those intermediates and jump back into chaturanga. You can watch me if you want to see how it's done. You bend your legs and you spring back. Inhale, come into a full cobra, upward facing dog, or just your baby cobra, using your back muscles to pull you into the back bend. Wherever this feels more comfortable, just be there. Exhale, send your hips back into a wide-legged child's pose. Take your legs as wide as your mat and start to lean forward. Allow everything to fall forward and to just give into gravity here. This is a nice little gentle hip opener, stretching out those hip flexors. Now, walk your hands back towards the body. Bring your knees together, hands forward. Now we're going to try the sun salutation bees now. This is a little harder. This is taking it a step further. So I'm going to stick with the beginner version once again. We're only going to do 3. And then we're going to finish off with a little stretch out, and that'll be it for today. So inhale your hips up to the sky, back to your downward facing dog. Hold your dog for 3 deep breaths. Slowly walk or step to the front of the mat, whichever is better for your body. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, the hands above the head. Touch the palms and exhale into your standing pose. Become still just for a moment. Now inhale your hands up and send your hips down for chair pose. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, fold. Frame those feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Let's step back into our plank. Drop your knees for a nice easy plank if you would like to. Exhale, down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, downward facing dog. I'm getting those two mixed, which doesn't make any sense. Downward facing dog. Now rotate that left foot so it's about a 45-degree angle. Step that right foot forward. Keep the hips nice and squared. So you're keeping this right leg at a 90-degree angle. The hips are squared off to the front of the mat. Inhale, come on up. Hands up to the sky. This is warrior 1, which can feel quite uncomfortable when you're a beginner, but it'll get easier. Exhale, frame the foot and step back into plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Rotate that right foot, 45-degree angle. Step the left forward this time, squaring the hips with the front of the mat. Inhale the hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into plank. Drop the knees. Exhale, down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down. Send your hips back for a little child's pose here. Let's close off the legs. Instead of a wide-legged child's pose, we'll take the easier child pose. Reach your arms forward. We're going to come back into our downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. You're probably feeling quite nice and warm now. We're really getting that blood going. Now slowly walk to the front of the mat. Or you can step. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Now allow your hands to scrape along the floor and you bend down into your chair pose. Knees together. Look up and stand all the way up. Exhale. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, drop the knees, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Drop the knees. Take a nice easy little back bend, come all the way to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come back to plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Rotate the left foot, 45-degree angle, and step the right foot forward, squaring those hips with the front of the mat. Inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step back into plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. And rotate the right foot, 45-degree angle. Exhale, step this left foot between the palms, squaring the hips with the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back into plank. Drop the knees. Exhale, down chaturanga, all the way to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, send the hips back into a wide-legged child's pose. You can rest either your chin or your forehead onto the ground, extending the arms out in front of you. Just enjoy this hip opener and allow gravity to do its work. We've only got one more to go, guys. I've got your back and you've got this. One more. Take one more deep breath. Come on forward. Feet hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance. Send your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. You're probably feeling lovely and warm now. Walk out your dog. And then either walk or step to the front of your mat. And those of you taking the harder version, you can always jump to the front and continue with your sun salutations. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold forward, pull yourself a little closer towards those legs. If you need to keep them bent, don't worry, do that. Suck in that lower belly. Scrape the hands along the ground, inhaling into your chair pose, sitting nice and low, look up. And come into standing. Look up towards the hands and exhale them to your side. Give the body a little shake out. We've only got one more to go. You're doing an amazing job. Inhale, hands to the sky. Look up. Exhale, drop down into your seat. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands. Let's step back into our plank. Take your time. If you want to start taking much easier versions, we can always drop the knees. Drop the knees. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale, take a baby back bend. Exhale down. Inhale, back up into your downward facing dog. Rotate that left foot, 45-degree angle. Step the right foot forward. Square off the hips with the front of the mat. Lift up through that back kneecap. Keep the front knee about a 45-degree angle to the ground. And inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, come on down. We're going to skip all the planks and chaturangas in between those. Inhale, downward facing dog. Rotate the right foot, 45-degree angle. Bring the left foot between your palms. Square off those hips. Nice and square with the front of the mat. Lift up through the back key nap. Wow, I'm doing a lot of spooners. Kneecap. And make sure those front legs are 45-degree angle. Inhale. Lift up. If you lose your balance, don't worry. Exhale, come on down. Plant your hands, step back into plank. Drop your knees. Exhale all the way to the belly. inhale for your final little back bend here. Exhale down. And send yourself back for another wide-legged child's pose. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Sink all the way down. Bring your forehead to the ground. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Walk your hands towards the body, and you'll be happy to know we're going to come into our little cool down now. So take a comfortable seat, any seat of your choice. If cross-legged position is still quite tough for you, then maybe elevate your hips up onto a block or something, or maybe a pillow. Make it a little easier for you. Sit up nice and tall through the spine, and we're going to do a couple of neck rolls. Roll the shoulders back and down the spine. Take your head over to one side. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, roll the head towards the chest. Inhale to the other side. Take your time here, just doing little neck rolls. Take a couple more in your own time, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. One more. And release. Roll those shoulders. We're going to take the left arm across the body and just stretch behind the shoulder blade. Look over to the left side. Now take that arm, bend it, and use the right arm just to pull it back a little bit, stretching the tricep here on this left side. Sit up nice and tall. And release. Let's take a twist. Twist over towards the left, taking your right arm to the left knee, looking behind you, over towards the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, taking the right arm across the body, using the left to get deeper behind that shoulder blade. Look over towards the right. And release, bending through the right, taking it up and over, using the left to deepen a little bit more into that tricep here on the right side. Keep your breath nice, deep and long. And release. Taking the twist over towards the right side with that left arm meeting the right kneecap, looking over towards the right side. And release, come back to the center. Take your hands out in front of you and just pull your fingertips towards the body. And release, and then dip them down towards the ground and pull them towards the body in that direction. Stretching the top of the hand. And do the same on the other side. Give them a little shake out. Taking this left arm in front of us, pulling the fingertips back. And release. Dipping the fingers towards the ground, pulling the fingers towards the body in the opposite direction, towards the body. And release. Give it a little shake out. Now we're going to finish just with a very short and small meditation. For those of you that want to stay in a meditative pose for longer, feel free to do that, or you can just follow along with me. Now you can either stay in a cross-legged position, but just make sure you cross your legs in the opposite way to how they were a minute ago. Or you can always lie on your back in Shavasana. Try to stay present, try not to fall asleep. It's so easy in Shavasana. I know I have a million times. So don't worry if you do. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. Suck in that lower belly ever so slightly. Roll your shoulders back and down the spine, hands on your knees. Close your eyes and allow your breath to come back to its natural state. Don't force anything. Just feel the rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. And feel that energy that you've created throughout the body. You may feel quite a warmth between the touch of your palms and your knees. You've created that. You've got your blood flow going. After all those hours of sitting in an office, what a blessing. Let's try to make our minds really still here. If any thoughts come into your mind, whether it be work related, family related, whatever it is, allow it to pass. This is a moment for you. A moment of stillness and silence. I'm going to be quiet and still just for 1 minute before we close off our practice. And don't beat yourself up if your mind starts to wander. It's completely natural. That's what the mind does to us. Accept it and just return back to the breath. Start to bring your awareness back into the body by deepening the breath. Take a really deep inhale through the nose and exhale out of the mouth, releasing all the tension. Inhale your hands above the head, up to the sky. Allow the head to follow up towards the sky. And then bring them back into your heart center. Bow your head. Thank yourself for showing up today. I thank you for joining me and for giving me your time. Namaste, everybody. You can open your eyes. I hope that got your blood flow going, and remember, if you want some more stretchy type exercises, I've got loads of videos you guys can choose from if you feel like you need to stretch things out a little more. This really was just a quick thing to get everything moving, get the juices going again after all those hours of sitting still. As I say, I will link over to a longer video, which is also fantastic for anybody who sits in an office. It is a long video, but it's very relaxing. and it's all about stretching everything out, all the bits that you need stretched out when you're sitting all day. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this, and feel free to join me on Facebook or Instagram. Just look up YogaCandi. You can also find me on YogaCandi.com, where you can sign up for newsletters and never miss a video. On there I also talk about things that motivate me, and hopefully they motivate you as well. Things like nutrition, spirituality, all sorts of different things that are related to a loving, healthy lifestyle. So until next time everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments how you got on and how it made you feel. So until next time, have a beautiful day and keep enjoying life. Namaste.